Well, hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I have been a little MIA and let me tell you why. So last week we did like a staycation, so he gets a few weeks off a year and we just struggled taking them so bad because it, first of all, causes him to have to do more work so then he can take the time off, and so it just takes a lot of intentionality on his part and we just don't always make it happen. And then also, like, it's a lot to afford a vacation slash like feel like it's worth it when you have young kids. So we just decided, like, let's just do a staycation. Let's have you take the time off that you deserve, but then let's stay home and let's pound through some of these projects that we were trying to finish up. So you guys know that we've been painting our house, like the exterior of our house, and with any project comes just like the need to, there's a lot of cleanup afterwards, I guess, like a lot of fine details. And those are the kind of things that we typically will just like get the bulk of a project done and then be like, looks good, and then we'll like walk away and forget about it. But I was like, no, I want to finish this project. I want to feel good about it. I want it to be complete. And so we spent the last week finishing up a couple landscaping projects, some like fine-tuned painting details, which we're still not completely done on. And yeah, just spending time together as a family and having his extra hands around, which was so helpful for me because this week a lot of new symptoms hit me when it comes to like body pains and my ability to like bend over and, you know, pick up the kids and that kind of stuff. Like, my body is just like hurting so bad right now. So it was really like perfectly timed with him being home. So that's where I was. And then I got sick, and I wouldn't say like it was super bad. Like, mentally I still felt totally fine. The only symptom I had was like coughing and then like a little bit of congestion, and you can probably still hear it a little bit in my throat. I didn't even have a sore throat, so I don't really know what it was. So I was gonna be filming and then I was like, I literally cannot talk without coughing, so that's not gonna work. So anyway, I am back. I'm excited to be back. Definitely needed the little break and refresher just as a family. But yeah, so I am 30 weeks pregnant. I feel like I was just making my 20-week pregnant video being like, I'm halfway, and now suddenly it's been 10 weeks and I'm like, where is the time going? Seriously, somebody answer, comment below, where's the time going? Because I cannot believe how fast this pregnancy is flying by. I'm not sure if it's, I'm sure like the fact that we didn't know until like 11 weeks, whatever, was a huge part of it. But like, I mean, just in general, with it being my third pregnancy and my hands being so full already, I wonder if like that's why it just feels so much faster. But I'm going to jump right into my symptoms that I'm having now because there are a few new ones and I've not been feeling so hot. So I think definitely it has to do with me being sick last week, but then also just like I'm just getting to that point where I can no longer push it so hard. I'm going to be asking my doctor at my appointment on Thursday for a recommendation for a physical therapist that specializes in pelvic floor, because I'm at the point where I'm like, okay, I'm not like peeing my pants or anything. I don't have any issues in that area with like bladder. It's more like my entire pelvic floor just feels like it's like falling and it's weak, and I feel like everything's just gonna literally fall out, and it's painful, it's uncomfortable, it's affecting a lot of things. And I just kind of want to get on top of that and make sure I can get in right after I have the baby. Not right after, obviously, but like a lot of physical therapists are booked super far out. So I just want to give that person a call so then I can get in after the baby. I'm also, this is a whole new thing. I'm going to try not to be super long-winded with this, but I have mentally made the decision that I'm going to be talking to my doctor about getting on some sort of anti-anxiety medication, and it's not necessarily for right now, but so that it's regulated in my system by the time I hit postpartum, because I have now struggled really bad with anxiety and some depression after giving birth. And I know that it's super common and that people are really getting better about like verbalizing and talking about it, and I'm super encouraged by that. And in fact, that is what kind of made me think maybe I could jump on this issue ahead of time and not struggle as bad this next time. So I follow someone, her name is Lex Fitzgerald. I don't know if anyone else follows her, but she's super awesome and I love her family. So she's had 3 kids and she's also had the same kind of struggles after each one. And she said that this time she's been on a low dose of Zoloft, I think, and that it's just been a completely different experience. And I just feel like I want to cover all my bases. Again, not a huge fan of medicine, and I actually might end up deciding not to, but it's something I'm going to be talking to my doctor about and just thinking on. If you have an experience on Zoloft or on Zoloft or on any other like anti-anxiety, depression meds, comment below if you feel willing to just share your experience. Did it help you postpartum? I'm kind of nervous about it, but I also feel this weird peace about it, knowing that it really could maybe change the game for me this time around. I typically kind of lose it around 3 months postpartum. My hormones probably shift around that point or something, and I just do not feel well mentally, so, or physically, to be honest. Yeah, I just really want to jump on that and be proactive. The next thing I'm going to be talking about is the itchiness. Oh my goodness, I know I've had 2 babies already, but my stomach has been itchy, like so itchy, and I don't know if it's the heat, because I don't think I've ever struggled with it this bad. Or maybe like previous stretch marks stretching back out, like, oh my goodness, I don't know. So I've started rubbing my bio oil on daily, which I'll link below because that stuff is amazing, and I like the smell of it. It just reminds me of pregnancy because I've used it every time now, and it's super nourishing. It's supposed to help with scars, and I actually notice a difference on my previous like stretch marks, which I haven't gotten any new ones yet, but probably will. Lately, I feel like I have been requiring so much sleep. So like I'll go to bed, say I go to bed at 11. It's like I could sleep forever in the morning if Zach would let me. Like I just feel like I don't need to wake up because I'm that tired. So I've definitely, Zach and I have been talking, we need to start prioritizing a very strict bedtime, so then I am less likely to just roll into the next day. I really want to like get up before the kids, have their breakfast prepped, you know, maybe even drink my cup of coffee before they're awake. Like that sounds so amazing to me, and I really need to make that a bigger priority right now. Lately I've been feeling on like the hormonal side, like I feel like my patience levels are really low, like my tolerance for things that the boys do. Maybe it's because there's 2 of them and they both like act up lately. I don't know. They're like the sweetest boys, and I promise, like, I love them so much, but there are just some days where I'm like, holy cow, like they are just trying to make me lose my mind. Like it's like they're intentional about it. I don't even know, but that's probably something worth recording because I just feel like a little bit out of body, like I can't quite control my responses to things, which is probably hormones. Or just being irritable because I can't bend over. Like, so annoyed. So like when they drop something or throw something and want me to get it, I'm like, I can't get it. Like I literally can't bend over. Or when Zeke like is refusing to help me clean up toys, I'm like, buddy, I need you to help me. I actually need you to. Like I cannot reach that. I don't know. But so I've just been really irritable with that. My belly is starting to feel really heavy, which is causing a lot of back issues. So I now have like major sciatic. So like last night, Zach and I were power washing the patio in the back, which looks amazing. Oh my gosh, so satisfying. Probably the worst thing I could do at 30 weeks pregnant, because I'm like, that really triggers my sciatic, like being in the same spot like over and over and over again. Like, oh man, it's not fun. So we come in and then we crash on the couch in the basement and just like watch TV for a little bit. And then I try to get up and I literally can't bend at my waist, like my sciatic. I'm like leaning back and I'm like, I can't move. Like I cannot move. So I was like, well, you're gonna have to shut everything down because I can't help. But I'm just getting to that point where like everyone else is gonna have to step it up because mom is losing it. My latest craving has become anything cold. So like popsicles as it's gotten warmer, I will say. So like popsicles, ice cream, this is terrible and I don't do it very often, but like a big drink from a gas station, so good. I always crave those in the summer though, so I really don't know if I can even like attribute that to pregnancy, because popsicles are always good. And every summer I go ham in the popsicles. I love popsicles, so I don't know. It could be pregnancy, who knows. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I haven't done an update since I was 28 weeks, I think. So it's been a couple of weeks, and I do feel like a lot of the big thing, if one thing were to stand out that's like different, it would be like the body aches and pains. Like at the end of a day, sometimes I can hardly move. My sciatic pain gets so bad, and my pelvic floor pain hurts so bad. My pubic bone is like separated, and I'm at the point where I'm like, oh yeah, this is why I want to give birth. Like this is because I want this to end and I want the baby out. Like, but also I want to see him. Zach and I have both started to kind of like talk about, you know, how Ezra was and how Zeke was, and like kind of imagine like what will this baby be like. And I'm getting excited because those baby snuggles are everything, and I can't wait to just breathe him in and like just have him here. So there's obviously the fear surrounding him, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to handle like a 3-year-old, a 1.5-year-old, and an infant. But you do what you gotta do to make it work, and I'm just like over the moon and excited to meet him and see what he looks like and just have another addition to our family. So we have been dreaming and talking a little bit about like, you know, just like late night nursing sessions and snuggles and that kind of stuff, which I am convinced gets easier with consecutive kids, because you start to cherish that time with them rather than like be mad at them for being awake in the middle of the night, because it's the only alone time you get with your baby. So yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to nursing, which if anyone knows me, like nursing has not been my jam, but there's something beautiful about it, and I am praying that it's, you know, once again, a better experience than my previous. I'm kind of looking forward to that season again. I'm gonna have to pause this. I'm back. Zeke is crying in his bed, and I don't really know how much longer he's gonna make it with quiet time. I am using the Baby Center app today. It is saying I have 64 days left. Yikes. He is 15 3/4 inches, which is like really hard to believe, because that's only like 5 inches less than a birth length. Crazy. And then he is 3 pounds. So I think like for the most part, everything that I keep reading says that like really all that they have left is for their lungs to develop, and for them to just continue to put on lots of baby fat and just be able to withstand this world better. This week he is the size of a large cabbage. About 1.5 pints of amniotic fluid surrounds your baby. The peak will be from around 34 to 36 weeks. They are now able to see in the dark, like dim shapes. His pupils are able to constrict and expand, allowing his eyes to get in more or less light. So that's pretty cool. That's the only thing that it's saying is new this week with him. And then new for me, for my body, fatigue. You may be feeling a little tired these days, especially if you're having trouble sleeping. I'm not having trouble sleeping yet. I sleep through the night. I don't even have to pee in the night, typically maybe once a week. But I just have been requiring so much sleep. I'm exhausted. And then growing feet. It can cause your feet to spread. Well, I'm already a size 10, so let's pray that that doesn't happen. Mood swings. I just talked about this. So I feel like uncomfortable. Okay. So it says the combination of uncomfortable symptoms and hormonal changes can result in the return of mood swings. That's funny because I literally just said that. Like the fact that I can't reach my toes is like ticking me off and making me irritable. It's normal to worry about what your labor will be like or whether you'll be a good parent, but if you can't shake the blues or feel increasingly irritable or agitated, you may be among the 1 in 10 expectant women who battle depression during pregnancy. Also, let your healthcare provider know if you feel frequently nervous or anxious. So it's funny because I just talked about that too. I don't feel like I deal with that as much during pregnancy. It's postpartum that it can get really bad, but I will say that there are just days that I'm like, I just don't feel quite mentally there or checked in. I feel like the areas that affects the most would be in parenting. Like, I just feel very distant from the boys right now, and it's probably just because I have a lot going on in my mind, and it's really hard for me to just like sit down and focus solely on, you know, the little things that they want me to do with them, which sounds really selfish and it feels really selfish, but I do know that it is just a phase, and that all of that circles back around. That's all that it's saying for my body this week. So he is looking big, definitely feeling large. Okay, so that's really all the app says this week. I'm gonna do a bump shot and then I'll close this out. With a shirt on, I'll turn this way towards the light. There's the belly. Oh my goodness. He is definitely like a low baby. Ouchie, ouch. Now that it's hot out, you'll see me in these shorts all the time. All the time. There he is. I don't know if you can see him as much from the front. Yeah, definitely getting large. I kind of am at the point where I feel like, how am I gonna get bigger than this? And I feel like I get there every time, where like I'm impatient and I'm like, why am I not showing yet? And then I start to show, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so big. Like, how am I gonna get larger from here? So I feel like I still have almost 10 weeks left probably, and I can't even imagine how much larger things are gonna get in here. Everything hurts. That's where I am at this week. Thank you for being patient in my hiatus, and I hope that you guys are having a good week. Like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and definitely check out other videos on our channel while you're here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in our next video.